Hello students, good morning everybody. I am Deepak Kumar Verma from Santiniketan Jubilee School, Motihari. Students, in the previous classes we have studied about many topics under democracy and diversity. Chapter 3 of Civics 10th, like meaning of diversity and so on. But in this lecture class, students, we are especially going to study about the topics here like apartheid, homogeneous society and migrant, politics of social division, three determinants of politics of social division. Let us begin our study. Actually, whenever we talk about apartheid, students, we come to know that it was a policy of racial segregation at some places in the world, racial discrimination at some places in the world. Actually, what is apartheid? In Hindi, रंग भेद की नीति क्या है? It is a policy of racial segregation which was used by the rich and white people of the Western countries over blacks and uncivilized people of Asia and Africa and other parts of the world also, who were mostly backward in many contexts. They used to say, means the whites and the dominated people of the Western countries who ruled over the black people of South Africa and other places of the world used to say that they were civilized and advanced people of the world, and that is why they had come to rule over the blacks to civilize them. This was their opinion. But there was another phase with those people. They actually wanted to rule over the places to snatch resources from there for their own benefits, as they did in India, in South Africa, and the white people in the USA in the previous years also did with the black people till the civil rights movements occurred. So racial discrimination on the real ground is not an acceptable fact. It was used by the rich and powerful people of the West for a very long time, and saying this, they used to rule over the black and uncivilized people and just underdeveloped people for a very long time. So this was an official policy of those people under which they just differentiated the society into two different classes. One was the ruling class and another was the class which was ruled by those ruling people. So apartheid is now very clear, under which the white people, the rich people, the powerful people of the Western countries used to rule over the blacks, disadvantaged people, and very people in very miserable condition. This continued for a very long time, students. But when the freedom movement arose at different places in the world against the ruling class people, gradually this problem was also eliminated. And after that comes here homogeneous society. Students, it is a terminology which has been used here in the book very clearly. Actually, a society that has similar kinds of people. Once again, actually a society that has similar kinds of people, especially where there are no significant ethnic differences. Here once again I would like to tell you students about the word ethnic. We have studied many times. Ethnic people means people belonging to different language groups or cultural groups. So we are talking about the same word, ethnic word. Once again, a society that has similar kinds of people, especially where there are no significant ethnic differences, is called a homogeneous society. A homogeneous society is that which has similar kinds of people, especially where there are no significant ethnic differences. But after that, students, here comes the word migrant. Migrant, the word migrant. And it is very clear, students, that it is a terminology where we can say that anybody who shifts from one region or country to another region within a country or to another country, usually for work or other economic opportunities, is called a migrant. Migrant, the word migrant has come too much popular nowadays during coronavirus situation. Migrant workers. We are listening this many times, migrant workers who are coming from Maharashtra, Gujarat, Punjab, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and so on. They are coming or going. They are migrant people. Actually, they shift their position for specific purposes, either to earn money or just to start any other economic activities. They are migrant people. Actually, they are not burden in our society. I would like to add it here, students. They are not burden in the society. They are the wheels of our economic system. If they stop, the whole of the economic system stops. If they run, the whole of the economic vehicle runs away. So, migrant has now been very clear, is now very clear, and this is continuously going on in our society, because it is not possible for all sorts of people to live at a place, to get the job and live a better life. They search for some better work at different places. That is why they go there and come back. So this has been a problem for a very long time in our country as well as in other countries also. Now after this, students, here is a topic of discussion, and that is politics of social division. Whenever we talk about politics of social division, students, we come to know about a condition, and that is the condition where we have to study about two different countries. We have initially started, and those two countries are Northern Ireland and Netherlands. In the previous class we have studied about those two countries. Take the case of Northern Ireland that we refer to above. This region of the United Kingdom, yes, keep it in your mind, students, that Northern Ireland has been a region of United Kingdom. Britain has been for many years the site of a violent and bitter ethno-political conflict. Ethno-political conflict means conflict between two different types of language group people, or people belonging to two different ideologies. Its population is divided into two major sects of Christianity. 53% are Protestants, while 44% are Roman. In Northern Ireland, 53% of the population is in favor of Protestants and 44% is in favor of Catholics. I would like to tell you once again about it. Are Roman Catholics. The Catholics were represented by nationalist parties who demanded, always keep it in your mind, students, the Catholics were represented by nationalist parties who demanded that Northern Ireland be unified with the Republic of Ireland. So this was the specific demand of the Catholics in Northern Ireland. Once again, the Catholics were represented by nationalist parties who demanded that Northern Ireland be unified with the Republic of Ireland, a predominantly Catholic country. Northern Ireland was a predominantly Catholic country. The Protestants were represented by the Unionists. Here, one difference is found here, students. The Protestant groups of people were represented by the Unionists who wanted to remain with UK. So, the Protestants were in favor to remain with the UK, while the Catholics, who were represented by the nationalist parties, demanded that Northern Ireland be unified with the Republic of Ireland. So what is this? This is all just like a politics to rule over the society with a viewpoint, with an agenda, with an ideology. So in Northern Ireland and Netherlands, we have clearly studied about the matters which were available there and which were regions of conflict and violence between two different groups of people. After that, students, the last topic of study here is three determinants of politics of social division. Actually, this is a very important topic that you have to listen to very carefully. And we have to explain it very nicely. A question arises here. What are three determinants of politics of social division? Its answer is, students, three determinants of politics of social division are as follows. Number one, it depends on people how they perceive their identity. How they perceive their identity means whether they perceive their identity in plural or singular, in positive manner or negative manner. If people perceive their identity in plural in the society, they respect each and every culture, civilization, living habit and status of the people, and that is helpful in the unification and accommodation of society. That was seen at many places, such as in case of Belgium also, the Dutch respected the French and the French respected the Dutch. As a result, the society was unified, the nation was unified, and both were living very nicely and gave a very nice example of accommodation in whole of the world. So, the first determinant here is that I would like to tell you once again how people perceive their identity. How people perceive their identity means whether people perceive their identity in plural or singular. If people perceive their identity, put forward their identity in the society, where all castes, religions, cultures and civilizations are properly and equally respected, this is enough to say that people perceive their identity or are perceiving their identity in plural, and that is helpful in the accommodation of society. But if people perceive their identity in singular, that is too dangerous to accommodate the society. I would like to tell you, giving the identity as singular is just like a condition of overlapping situation. Giving the identity just like plural identity is just like a condition of cross-cutting difference. So, if people perceive their identity in singular, they want others should follow them. So, giving singular identity or plural identity can be the first determinant of politics of social division. This can either unify the society or divide the society. If people perceive their identity in plural, they can unify the society. If they perceive their identity in singular, they can divide the society. The second determinant of politics of social division is here how political leaders raise the demands of different social groups. How political leaders raise the demands of different social groups. If political leaders raise the demands of different social groups in a very positive manner, they want to do better for each and every person in the society. But if political leaders raise their demands in a very negative manner, they support one social group and they just neglect another social group. So this can be responsible either for the unification of society or division of society. Third, determinant of politics of social division is here how government reacts towards demands of different social groups. If government's reaction is positive, then the government works for all, recognizes everyone, whether belonging to any caste or community. But if government's attitude is not so positive and it favors a specific section in the society and others are violated or discriminated or are not looked after by the government, this can be too dangerous for the unification of society. So here are three determinants of politics of social division. Number one, how people perceive their identity. Number two, how political leaders raise the demands of different social groups. And third, how government reacts towards needs and aspirations of different people and social group. Thank you very much.